And so I just grabbed some of my slides. I just got back from a trip to Italy, and I shot almost 10,000 photographs in 3.5 weeks. So one of the things that I found out, the reason they have so many good photographs is they take a lot of bad ones. Okay? So they take a lot of pictures. Some of you heard my story about I've met two professional photographers who work for National Geographic. The first one was back in the 70s. I asked him how many photographs he shot to get 44 pictures in National Geographic. And this is when they used film. And he said he shot over 25,000 to get 44. And I just met another one here last summer up in Seattle, and he had a 16-picture spread in National Geographic's. And it was between 50 and 60,000 photographs he shot to get 16 that they accepted. So, one of the things that I would say about taking good photographs is you're going to have to take a lot of bad ones. You should just take a lot of photographs. So, I'm going to just talk. I didn't put these in any particular order. I just kind of downloaded them and put them into a file, so I'll talk about each one. This is a photograph I took in the highlands of New Guinea. I thought this one was very, very interesting. If you notice, she has tattoos on her face. And these are all of my pictures of people are unposed photographs. They're just pictures that I see of people, and I am fascinated by the different looks, and I especially like young children and older women and men that have character. So, and this woman I thought was very, very interesting. Again, she was in the highlands of New Guinea. She may have never seen a white person before. I was in a village where most of those people had never seen white people. So, and this was in Sri Lanka. I thought she was a beautiful lady. Just again, just a snapshot taking when I walked through. And when I'm doing photographs, I like to get people, places. Lots of times I'll take pictures of signs just to remind me where I am, but it makes it interesting. This was a friend in Hawaii, so, and yeah, that works better. Can you see that better now?
Yes.
And so again, you're just walking down the beach, and this particular day, there were 7 turtles sitting on this beach. We had to hike into the beach, what used to be a beautiful resort known as the Kona Village, and the tsunami took the Kona Village out and destroyed it, but the turtles are still coming back. Any questions about any of these, how I shot them or what I might have used? Please ask me. Oops. What's going on here? God, we may not have what's going on here? So, I thought that was going to give me the next slide, but I've never used this before. Okay. This is in Kona again. Does anybody know what this is?
Coffee.
Yeah. And I've been into coffee. I'm very interested in coffee. My son is a coffee roaster and a cube grader in coffee. This was on that plantation that he lived on in Kona. It's beautiful. Mexico. No, I'm sorry. This is in Honduras. And just again, walking down the street. And I love the color. Part of the problem of taking photographs like this is the lighting is rarely right. So if I was really seriously doing this, I might move the people. But in this particular case, she was in pretty soft lighting. You don't want direct sunlighting on your subjects. Too much shadow. This was taken in Rada, Spain, one rainy night. And it was dark, and this particular time, all the people had left because it started to snow getting up, and all the cars were coming down from Rada. And we went into this little cafe and came out, and I leaned up against the light post so that it would be not too blurry. So kind of like the effect. What am I doing? This is an ad I did for Cafe de Arte Coffee. I just threw this in just so you can see what kind of things you can do. I shot, a friend of mine was pouring the coffee and I took a number of pictures. This was those pictures were done with a strobe flash unit, and I had a black background, and they were looking for an ad for their coffee, and so I produced that for them. This is the Amalfi Coast in Italy. I took this just a couple months ago. And again, just walking down the street, I just saw the pattern and the beauty of that. We were with a walking group on this. My daughter and I signed up for a walking tour with Walking Adventures International. They're actually located in Vancouver, Washington. And so we spent 10 days, 12 days with them. And right before we shot this, or right after we shot this, we went to Sicily for 10 days. And I've got some other pictures of Italy. Again, this is in Italy, and I just was walking down the street and I saw that. I found that, this is, I think we tend to take stock shots when we're taking photographs. We never look for the unusual. I thought this was, everything over there was the motorcycles and the Vespas and all that, and this guy was actually, he was there for an hour sleeping, and I just snuck up on him and pictures of him. Gives personality. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you have to get permission?
No.
Take the picture?
No.
You don't have to?
No. Now, if you, you can copyright it. If they're on a public place, you're taking a picture out there. If you're going to hire them to be a model or something like that, and you're going to sell the photographs, you might want to do that. But basically, no, you don't need to do that. I used to get model releases years ago, but I never used them. So this is an interesting shot. This was in Clear Lake, Iowa, when the anniversary of the death of Buddy Holly is called. So every year, people come down there, and it was probably minus 20 degrees outside when I shot this. This was in the surf ballroom, which is the last venue Buddy Holly played in. This is an interesting picture because this is a picture of a guy named Tommy Alsop. And Tommy was the man who flipped the coin and lost the coin flip. So he's still playing, and the other three are dead. Do you all know that story? Yeah. The Buddy Holly story? Yeah, well, Tommy is a crusty old, but he's an excellent guitar player. But I got that shot of him, and I got lots of pictures of him, but I like that one the best. This was used on an album cover for Jerry Naylor. Jerry is the lead singer for the Crickets after Buddy Holly died. So he's now in his 70s, lives in Milwaukee, Oregon, and we did a shoot at a studio, and it was a very small studio, very difficult shot. And this is one that I actually discarded because his eyes were closed. And I gave all the photos to his publicist, and the guy does Nike brochures and Adidas and travels all over the world, and they picked that shot to be the album cover. Here's one scene. This is an interesting shot. And again, just walking down in Italy, walking down the street, looking for things like this. And I mean, like I say, I took almost 10,000 photographs, so I just picked a few of these, but that one's kind of interesting. Does anybody notice anything else interesting about that photograph? I didn't notice it until somebody pointed me out. That's my daughter in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Can you all see it?
Which corner she is?
The lower left corner. Let's see if I can point it out here. Just a second. Right there. So the beauty of that is you got to look at everything that you're taking a picture of. You know. Now I kind of like that she's in there, but if I were going to sell that photograph, I'd probably Photoshop her out. Again, Italy's a really interesting place. They use a lot of flowers. There's most everything is gray and beige and stuff, but they add color with flowers. Just walking down the street, somebody created that. I just thought it was kind of interesting. Now I wanted this shot. This is a shot of my daughter. Does anybody know where that's at? No? It's Florence. The Duomo is in the background. Now the reason I picked this shot to show you is because we've talked a lot about putting people in your shots when you hike. And how do you do it to make it interesting and still show that you're on the hike? Well, you focus on the people, you get up close to them, and you have the background. Now, people who've ever been there know exactly where she is. So I have the scene, Italy, but the focus is her. So one of the ways you do that is, the other thing you do is you open your lens up, wide open, so that your depth of field, so the background becomes focused. That'll focus that. This is in Guatemala. They call the various ruins down there. I almost didn't go on this trip. We were down there on a mission trip, and it was kind of a side trip. Do you want to do that? Oh, do I want to spend $300 to fly into some place? And I'm not that interested in ruins, but it was really one of the best parts of the trip. When I get to the next one. When I was flying home, I opened up a magazine, and they had a featured article on this very area, and I opened up the magazine, and that exact picture was featured in the magazine. And so I looked at my camera and I looked at the magazine, and that's the exact photograph that they had, including the branches, just exactly where they were. So one of the things that you want to do, and one of the things that makes that an interesting photograph, is that you have borders on it done by the trees or leaves or something like that. So you always want to look when you're taking a photograph. You want to put borders on the side. You want to frame the photograph with something.
Do they let you go inside that?
Yeah, you can see there are people up there.
Is that scaffolding or shoreline?
Yeah, it's all scaffolding. Yeah, they're under construction there all the time. So
What year was this?
what's that?
What year?
Oh, this was like 4 years ago. Oh, we're getting down low. We got to keep going. Okay. Sorry, guys. My computer didn't hook up to this machine, so I'm using Amy's. Okay. This was taken in Guatemala in a prison, and he was living there. People recognize that? I was lucky on that day. I drove up there. We didn't even know that it was going to be a good day. And we got that. This is a street performer in Italy. Again, these are just all candid shots. And we're running out of power here, so I'm going to try to skinny through these. You got a lady in Italy just at a flea market. For all you ladies, if you don't understand why I took that one. And that's me. That's a picture my daughter took of me. This is an interesting thing. I brought this one in because everybody takes a picture of the Leaning Tower, but nobody takes a picture of the structure and showing the dimension of it. Of course, I did take the standard shot, but I took that one.
Which one is leaning?
Does anybody recognize that? Oops, yeah, we ran out of power. I'm sorry. So, I wish my computer worked, because I brought my cord, but unfortunately, I couldn't get it to hook up. Anybody have any questions? Yes.
Yeah, how do you, when you're taking these pictures, are you aware of both the background and the things that are in
Yes.
negative space or?
Yes.
Yeah.
I look for things in the background. One of the worst things you can do is have a flagpole running out of somebody's head. So yeah, I'm constantly, I look at the whole thing. Now then with our modern cameras today, then if I'm taking a picture of a person, I'm looking at the whole background, and then I focus on their eye. So I'm going to focus on your eye, and then I'm going to frame the photograph. While I'm holding the shutter half down, so that the focus happens. So no matter where I point the camera, that's where the focus is going to be. Okay. Anybody else? Yes.
Well, often appreciated your educating at least me the rule of thirds.
Yes.
In the Mt St Helens picture, that's centered because.
Well, there were lines in it. Yeah, it's centered because it was really almost impossible to take a picture of Mt St Helens without it being centered. I had another one, by the way, that I took when the mountain was whole, and I wish I had been able to show you that one because it was a little bit later. But that's where the mountain was off to the right-hand side, the lake, and of course, and the sailboat in the background. And it was black and white that I shot. Wow, how long ago? When did the mountain blow? Yeah, so this was. I had started going up to Mt St Helens as a camper when I was 9 years old. So. And I was just cleaning out I should have brought it. I was just cleaning out a storage unit, and I found my Spirit Lake YMCA jacket. And the little scarves that I used to remember, they would call them rags. Did anybody go to camp up there?
My kids did.
Huh? Do you remember the rags? You get a scarf?
Friendship, hope, love.
Yeah. So I found those in a box that I hadn't opened probably for 30 years. So. Anybody else? Any questions? Yes.
Are you gonna come back and give us the other half of the?
Well, yeah, if I can figure out how to, I didn't get the projector in time to hook up my computer to it, so I don't know why my Apple wouldn't work with it, but fortunately Amy had her laptop here, and unfortunately she didn't have her cord, so we couldn't charge it over the line.
Do you have to have a really high quality camera to take those pictures to get the quality of picture you want, or can that?
That's a really great question. You can get better pictures with a high quality camera usually, but the best camera to use when you're taking a picture is the one that you have in your hand. Okay, and I was this fellow I met from National Geographic last summer showed me the picture that was taken with an iPhone by a doctor that was published in National Geographic. It was a great shot. He just saw something, grabbed his iPhone, took the picture, and it was published in National Geographic. So we've talked here about cameras before. I have a little Nikon P7100. It's in your pocket. You can carry it on hikes and stuff. Takes excellent pictures. And actually the iPhones and a lot of these new phones will take really, really good pictures. Trudy was just showing me something she took with her iPhone, and you couldn't even see what she was taking. She had a 600 millimeter lens, and she got a beautiful shot of an eagle. And so, yeah, you can do certain things, but as far as quality, you can get really good quality. When the first digital cameras came out, they weren't taking as good quality pictures as your iPhone is. Yeah.
I'm stuck with your comment about the best camera in your hand.
Yes.
Page 24 in West Africa, I had a camera. It's a Canon. So it is a good camera. But it happened to be extremely unique in this little village where the first doctor, whatever you want to call it, was cutting a man's inside of his elbow, and then he took a cow's horn, hollowed out with a tip cut off. And we put that over the hole and sucked out blood. Just as our barbers did in the US.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
early years.
Leading them.
Yeah. Happened to get that developed and had it with me in Tokyo and met a person that had a magazine connection.
Yeah.
Sold that.
It's interesting because I was going up to Mt St Helens up on the south side of Mt St Helens and through Kruger and around that way. And I stopped at a little information center there. There was a guy there. He was talking about Mt St Helens, and I said, "So were you around when it blew?" And he said, "Yeah, I took pictures of it. Would you like to see them?" And I said, "Sure, I'd like to see them." So he handed me this scrapbook. And I started thumbing through it, and I said, "These are the pictures that I see on TV, like the stills that keep the mountains going off." And he said, "Yeah, I've shot those." He said, "I was up on Bear Pass, and I was camping up there, and had my camera up, was about to take a picture of the mountain, and all of a sudden I realized something was happening, and I just started hitting the shutter. It was a Minolta. Started doing that, and he said I was really excited until I saw that whole wall of coming. He says I grabbed the camera, and as I turned around and I took that last shot, and it was just like a wall of ash coming directly for him. And so I said, "Wow," I said, "What are you working for? You should." He said, "I was young. I didn't have any idea. I just stayed in the He didn't get time for any of it. And but he also almost didn't make it out. So, but yeah, that's why I'm saying, and that wasn't a particularly good camera. And if you want to see really great photographs, look at Ansel Adams, and he was using glass plates and stuff that, where he hiked in for 3 days and had 20 pieces of glass and he could take 20 pictures. And his pictures are still pretty famous. So.
That guy was at Bear Pass, and he survived the blast.
Yeah, he survived the blast. Yeah, he's working at kind of at an information center on the way up to Mt St Helens.
Wow.
Yeah, at least he was last summer.
I mean, every tree is blown down.
Yeah, but he was. Yeah, but Bear Pass was. If you remember those photographs, they were off to a distance. But they barely got out. They were in the ash on their way out. So
Wow.
it's a very interesting story. Anybody else? Any more questions? Well, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Coming in.
I'll go with Tom to see what he does. And I will get the projector to him ahead of time, I promise.
That's all right.
And Tom said that, what he likes, and these are homemade.
Thank you. Thank you very much.